Hi guys, welcome to AndroGuider. So in this video, we will be checking out dotOS. This is dotOS 1.1 and this is an official build of the ROM for the Redmi Note 3. It's based on Nougat 7.1.2. It has the latest security patches built in. Just don't go by the October 5, 2017 security patch in here. It's 2 months old. We just had the December security patches released a couple of days back. The ROM is still being actively developed by the developers behind this ROM, and they are in fact they are still actively adding new features to the ROM. I will talk about that in a second. And if your device is supported officially, then the next build that will of or .os which will come out, it will have a couple of new features, and it will also be having the latest security patches. So just don't worry about the October 5, 2017 security patch. And also this build is about a month old, 17th November build. And uh, if I will just uh, let you guys see, the ROM also has its own built-in OTA updater. And I just checked, there was a new build. The build which I am currently running is dated 17th of November, and there was a build out 2 days later, and that had the November security patches and some bug fixes. So you can see that all the security patches are being the all the security patches are being merged. So just don't worry about the latest security patches. You will be getting all of them if your device is supported officially. Yeah. Now guys, one of the uh, one of the things which differentiates .os from all the other Nougat based ROMs out there is its uniqueness. Now there are in fact there are a lot of unique features in this ROM. And well, this is the website of .os. I'll just scroll down, and there you can see that the ROM has its own built-in wallpaper collections, dot papers. We will also be talking about that. And then these guys have completely they have made some subtle changes to the design, like in the quick settings panel. You can see that it's not like the usual quick settings panel in other Nougat based ROMs out there. Particularly, you can make out that the brightness slider in other Nougat based ROMs, it was up there somewhere in the top. But now the dotOS developers, they have taken a bit of what I should say is the Oreo based approach. And as you would know that in Oreo, they have put the brightness slider right at the base of the quick settings panel. So that's what these guys have done as well. And yeah, so there have been there are some subtle design changes, and really some unique design elements are in there. .os has some really unique features which I haven't seen in any other Nougat based ROM out there. And I'll be honest with you guys that one of the one of the things which I haven't liked this year about all about the various ROMs is that they are quite similar, and there isn't much which differentiates ROMs these days. So just to give you a hint of what I'm saying, when I started reviewing ROMs, I think I did about 50 over 50 reviews for marshmallow based ROMs. And when Nougat came around, I think I have done only 10 or 15 Nougat based ROM reviews so far. So the problem with the why I haven't been doing more ROM reviews is that there is hardly much difference between two ROMs. If I am to put two ROMs side by side, there will be they will be mostly be similar. And as I said, there are very few differences to point out. So that's the reason why I haven't been doing too many ROM reviews. Why I wanted to show you guys .os is because of the different features it packs in. Okay. Well, yeah. So I'll just talk about the features which they have, which they are still planning on introducing. This is the dotOS channel on Telegram. They initially started with the, I think, the project on in August, and well, then you can see they are working on their system managers, and then they started inviting applications for maintainers. Then they added dot papers. Uh, then the OT updater was added. And yeah, as you can see that then there was this quick settings panel redesign, and now the new feature which these guys are working on is adding the is tweaking the accent color of the quick settings panel. So hopefully that update is still not out yet. The last build for the Redmi Note 3 was the 19th November build. So yeah, this update is still to come out, but as you can see, this post was made on the 3rd of December, so it's only a couple of days old. So yeah, this means that these guys are still actively working on adding new features to the ROM. So that's one of the that's good to see. I think most of the ROMs would now have moved over to for working on Oreo, but dotOS they are still working on their Nougat based ROM. Okay, so let's take a quick look the at the customizations which we get in, and just note another thing in here that the ROM does ship with the Magisk manager, but it isn't rooted. So you will have to flash Magisk in your custom recovery to root the ROM. Okay, and you can also install Magisk directly from the Magisk manager as well. So yeah, just make note of the fact that the ROM isn't rooted out of the box. Dot extra, so this is where most of the customizations are present. You can change the theme of the application as well: teal white, pixel blue, red, teal dark, pixel blue, and red dark. So a bunch of options in here. And then you have got various community links: GitHub, Telegram community group. I will be having links to both of these down below in the description box in case you want to join these communities. So first up, we have got the status bar settings. Then so you can show or hide the notification count. Then there are a bunch of system icons. We have got the system UI tuner. So if you want to hide any icon from the status bar in here, then you can do that. Say if I just wish to hide that volt icon, then I can just simply toggle that off. And then if you want to show the seconds in the status bar clock, you can enable that option. And guys, volt was working fine. So for those of you who are using Reliance Geo network, volt does work fine. Just a quick demo. Okay, so as you can see, volt is working fine. Then we have got the do not disturb mode settings. If you want to trigger the do not disturb mode using the volume keys, and if you want that do not disturb toggle to be shown in the volume dialog box, then you can enable this option, show with volume controls. uh, okay, moving ahead, we have got the navigation bar tuner. So this is something which is present down below in the navigation bar settings as well, but anyways, I will just quickly cover them up. Basically what this will allow you to do is you can change the orientation of the keys. So if you want to have the back key uh, if you want to have the back key after the home key, then all you have to do is just simply drag this back, and you can also drag the spacer. Okay, so I've just messed I have messed up the settings a bit. I'll take this back, and uh, well, let me see. I can add a spacer if I want. Okay. uh, well, okay, anyways, as you can see, you can change the orientation of the navigation bar buttons if you want to. And then you can add a couple of extra buttons as well. We have got the overview key, the menu or the keyboard switcher. And then if you always want to show the keyboard switcher, uh, that is if you use multiple keyboards, then we have got a search option, spacer button, clipboard button, and the keycode button. So just a quick brief up for all these buttons. The keycode button, it will allow you to replicate keyboard actions like pressing the control key, and then something else, or the uh, up dial pad, and there are a bunch of settings for that. page up, page down, so you can these are basically made for mimicking keyboard keys. So in case you want to configure that, then you can add that keyboard button. The clipboard button, that's meant for accessing the clipboard. So if you if you just quickly want to see that, I have shown this a couple of times, but still I will do it once again quickly. So just say if I just quickly want to copy paste any text, all I have to do is just copy it, and then say if I just want to paste it, all I can I what I can do is I can simply drag that in here. um well Let me try that again. Copy. Okay. What I will do is I just head over to the settings menu, and I'll drag that here. And there you can see, I don't know why it wasn't working in the search option in the app drawer, but yeah, this option does work. So in case you want to use the clipboard button, that's up to you. Let's head over to dot extras. uh, we were under the status bar settings, um, system icons. So yeah, this is the clipboard button, and then similarly you have got the spacer button, that's for leaving spaces between adjacent navigation bar keys. And then we have got the search option, that's pretty much clear by the name itself. Yeah, so that's what we have got in the navigation bar editor. And I'll just go back to the stock layout. Under other keys, you have got power notification controls. So if you want to go about how to if you want to tweak the way your notifications are displayed, then you can play around with the power notification control. Then you can change the orientation of the clock, right, center, or left. You can change the position of the clock. Yeah, and then if you want to show AM, PM, battery icons, again, this is as I have already said, there are very the dotOS developers, they have made really very few design tweaks, and the circle battery icon is one of them. I haven't come across such a such circled, I think this is what I would call this is the pi style battery icon, maybe, if that's the correct way to say it. I haven't seen this style, such a style of the circle battery icon in any other ROM, so this is something which is unique. Then we have got the portrait icon. You can also choose the landscape icon, or simply display the text. I'll stick to the circle one. And then if you want to show the percentage inside the icon or next to the icon, that's up to you. Okay. Yeah, but as you can see, when you will be showing the battery percentage inside the icon, that might get hidden a bit, but still. um, then next up we have got the I think we have pretty much, sorry, yeah, so let's move to the quick settings. Yeah, so if you want to enable quick pull down, you can do that, right or left edge. Then QS tile titles, if you want to hide the quick setting tile titles, these are the ones which I'm talking about. If you want to hide them, then you can just simply disable this option. Setting shortcut, you can choose what you want to show or hide in the quick settings header region. And then you can also configure the grid size of the quick settings panel. The maximum number of rows that you can show is 4, and the maximum number of columns is 6. And then if you want to have that advanced uh, if you want to have the uh, one tap action for turning off Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and mobile data, you can enable that last option. Button settings, we have just got one configuration in here, and that is to use the volume rocker keys to move the keyboard cursor. uh, then display settings, wake on plug, pocket detection, and accidental touch. So I will recommend you to enable these two, especially the accidental touch option, in case you are a heavy gamer. So this will definitely help you out in avoiding those accidental clicks. You might just end up while you are playing a game, and by mistake, if you touch your finger right on the edge of the screen somewhere, then accidental touch will prevent from triggering any unwanted action. Say, you just might click on the home key, and you may exit your game and go to the home screen instead. So this is where accidental touch does come in handy. I have been using this option as well, and well, I can tell you that this definitely works. So do enable this option. And pocket detection, if you want to block the screen and button inputs when your device is in the pocket, then just enable this option. Next up, we have got the lock screen settings. So fingerprint authentication vibration, or if you want to just simply unlock your device with a sim simply with the fingerprint without entering the pin or password when you have rebooted your device or powered it on, then you can enable this option. Then show the power menu on the lock screen. Double tap to sleep anywhere on the lock screen. You can configure the bottom lock screen shortcuts, display media cover art, music visualizers, and the blur lock screen wallpaper. Blur the lock screen option is also there. Yeah, if you just want to see how the lock screen looks like, well, there you have it. And yeah, guys, as you can see, have faced problems with the blur lock screen once in a while. I'm really not sure why that's the case. Maybe this will be fixed in some of the future releases, but the option for blurring the lock screen background, that doesn't work at times. And also another one of those design changes which you can make out is how is the way the clock looks. And then they have also made some what I should say as different, as they have made some changes to the font of the clock and the date. And I think the aim which you are seeing in here, that is some that is for the alarm, I guess. And yeah, that's it. So moving on. Uh, okay, and lock screen settings, we have already covered that up. Recent settings, so you can if you want to show the clear all button, then you can show that. You can configure its location as well, memory bar, and then if you want to have immersive recents, you can tweak any of those options. So this is how the recents panel looks like. um, then miscellaneous settings, advanced reboot, disable force close notifications, screenshot crop and share, camera shutter sound, and the and the three finger swipe gesture to take a screenshot. So very quickly, if you want to have a look at the screenshot crop and share option as well. Okay. Yeah. So what this allows you to do is, uh, well, I don't know why that's happening, but yeah, anyways, we have got a couple of options in here. So what you can do is, if you want to select, if you want to say, if you just want to draw something over the screenshot, then you can maybe just, I hope, I just hope that you guys can uh, do with that. I don't know why it's stuttering so much, but anyways, what you can do is, if you want to, if you wish to, uh, well, okay, I'll just take that out. Let's take another screenshot. And well, it still continues. Okay. Well, anyway, what I would like to tell you is that uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the screenshot crop and share option, I think that the issue which we are facing, that's likely being caused by the screen recording. Well, yeah. Just to give you guys a quick brief up of the screenshot crop and share option. This will display an editor window, which using wherein then you can either crop the screenshot or highlight certain areas. You just saw me using that drawing tool, what should I say, or what we can call that as um, I think something like pen maybe. Yeah, so you can use that to highlight different regions in a screenshot or just crop the screenshot. And there is also an option for blurring certain sections of the screenshot as well. So you can make use of that editor if you want to. So if you want to use that, then enable the screenshot crop and share option. Lastly, we have got the navigation bar editor, and we have already covered this up. So if you want to enable the on-screen navigation bar keys, you can enable this option. Or if you have a device with the backlit keys, then you can configure the backlit timeout. Then left-handed mode for the navigation bar, show the arrow keys while typing, buttons and layout. We have already covered this up. And then the recent long press action, that will take you into the split screen mode. Power menu customizations, well, you can enable a bunch of options in here. Sound panel, and another bug in the ROM is that when I will try to show you guys the power menu, the problem is that I am using a slightly different display theme at the moment. If I'll just go into display settings, and right in the end we have got the color engine. This is from Paranoid Android, and when I changed it to a black background, it suddenly messed up the power menu. Now I think that should work correctly. Okay, yeah, so there you can see the power menu. But when I set the power menu to something like a black theme, when I set that to a dark background, well, you can see that it doesn't work. Yeah, so that's one of the other bugs in the ROM. And I'll just quickly finish up the power menu settings. Then you can use the power key. You can press the power key to cut the call, long press for torch, automatically turn off the torch. You have got those time limits. Yeah, so it's great to see that. I'll just set that as 5 minutes. Then we have got some hardware key configurations. So you can use. So these are the list of actions you can choose from. Uh, then you can configure that for the recents key, home button, and then you can use the volume keys to wake up the device, answer the call, control the music playback when the screen is turned off. Then you can use the volume keys to skip between tracks, and then control the ringtone volume. Keyboard cursor control, we have already seen that, and then reorient the volume keys when the device is rotated. You can enable that. Yeah, and yeah, the ROM also comes in with Substratum. I'll just talk about that. I'll Okay, so let's talk about that as well. So the thing is that the ROM comes in with the Paranoid Android's color engine and the Substratum theme engine. The problem is that if you even end up using Substratum once, then you won't ever you will not be able to use the color engine again. Uh, until you have formatted your device, until you have made a factory reset. So in case you ever so just make a note that if you prefer to use Substratum instead, then you will be compromising on the color engine. Okay, I will do a demonstration for that, but we will just take a look at the display settings first up. Brightness level, adaptive brightness, live display, rotation settings. You can configure the wallpaper, sleep timeout. The maximum limit is 30 minutes and the minimum is 15 seconds. Ambient display, expanded desktop, and all that stuff. Okay, so you can also choose how the quick settings panel should look like. Currently I have set that to dark. You can prefer to have a white colored quick settings panel. Well, it should have made some changes, but anyway, maybe a reboot will fix that. And then if you prefer to choose between the automatic style, then what that will do is, I think I haven't really tested this out, but what I think that will do is, in the mornings and afternoons you will be having the white colored quick settings panel background, and during the evening and the nighttime, that will switch to the dark colored background. Okay, so that's what I think should be the case. And well, yeah, you can see that I don't know why the white quick settings panel background hasn't triggered yet, but I'm just guessing that a reboot should fix that. Anyway, then lastly we have got the color. We can change the background and the accent color in the settings menu. So you can choose from multiple options. You can choose a dark colored background or a white colored background. This was the original configuration of when you will boot up the device first. It will have this white colored background, and then you can also change that to the teal color. And then if you just want to, okay, I'll just simply set that to dark. Yeah, and then if you wish to change the accent color, then you all you have to do is tap on that palette icon in the top right section, switch between primary and accent colors. Yeah, so you can there are a bunch of colors you can choose from. Let's say I'll just pick orange. Okay, and Well, yeah, you can see the changes are spontaneous. Yeah. So as I have already told you, if you end up using Substratum even once, the you won't be able to use the color theme engine. So I downloaded I installed a theme, a Substratum theme from the Play Store. I'll just okay, and let's just quickly, I will just quickly just apply this theme. Build and enable, and now it will do a system UI restart. And okay, so there you have it. We have applied the Substratum theme, and now let's go back into the display section, into the display settings, and now you can see that we can't use the theme modes are unavailable because a Substratum overlay is currently installed. And now if I even disable all the overlays, I'll just go back in here again, and what I will do is I will disable the selected. Okay, we'll do a system UI restart once again. Okay, so now we should be now you can see that we are back to the original layout. Now let's go to the display settings once again, and still it says that theme modes are unavailable because a Substratum theme overlay is currently installed. So there is no work around this. And another problem which I have noticed is that uh, uh, the accent color in the Substratum theme which we used currently, that was dark gray. And uh, even when I have disabled the Substratum theme, the accent color still gets retained. And believe me guys, I have tried this multiple times, and even after reboots this problem still wasn't fixed. So that's maybe one of those other bugs in the ROM. And yeah, so if you do end up using Substratum theme, firstly you won't be able to use the color engine again, and secondly you won't be able to get rid of that accent color, and go back to the pixel blue accent color which the ROM originally came in with. And then we have got the sound settings. So we have got the vibrate for calls option is in here. Launch the music player when the headsets are plugged in. Other sounds, we have got the dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, charging sounds. You can configure that, and you can also enable the vibration. Then vibrate on tap, vibrator intensity, and volume adjustment sounds. Yeah. And moving on, we have got the battery settings. Well, so you can enable the extreme power saver mode if you want to. You can trigger that manually, and the maximum percentage at which the power saver mode can be triggered automatically is 25%. And battery optimization, you can configure all that stuff. Gestures, well, you can press the power button twice to jump to the camera, and double tap on the status bar to put your device to sleep. And then under user settings, guys, this is something which I make sure I mention in each and every Nougat based ROM review that I do. uh, no matter which Nougat based ROM you do use, make sure that you fill up this emergency information section under the users option. This is present in all the Nougat based ROMs, even in stock Nougat. So what this allows you to do is it will obviously you can enter your emergency contact information. So even when your device is secured with a pin or a password lock, uh, uh, if god forbid if something ever happens to you, if you ever run into any accident, and if some person tries to help you and they try to use your phone to contact your loved ones, then they will be able to view this information even on a secure lock screen. So just make sure that you fill this up. You can add contacts and all your medical information, your name, addresses, and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Then security settings. Well, this ROM does have that grid size. This does have that feature of choosing the grid size of the pattern lock. So that feature is in there. And then you can also configure the lock screen message, fingerprint. That works fine. Unknown sources is enabled by default. um, yeah, that's pretty much it in the lock screen in the security settings. Lastly, the developer options are not enabled by default, so I'll just quickly enable them, and let's check them out. Okay, so theme will forcibly force enable theme. If you just want to enable this option, um, then root access, as I already told you, the ROM doesn't ship with root access by default. It does have the Magisk manager, but it isn't rooted out of the box. Android debugging, if you use Titanium backup, then this is something that you can enable. Mock location settings, you can configure that from in here. Then we have got a bunch of Wi-Fi settings, animation tweaks, and then you can configure the smallest width attribute. In case you are interested in customizing the DPI of your device, GPU settings, and force allow all the apps to be. When if you enable this option, then the applications which you have installed will be able to make use of the external storage rather than the internal storage. And then you can also force the apps to use the multi-window mode. And then in the end, we have got the kill app back button. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the quick settings panel, for the settings menu. And the ROM has two launchers. It comes with launcher and the dotOS home. DotOS home, it's really basic. There are very few customizations. uh, uh, you know uh, the app drawer, and that's sorted alphabetically, but apart from that, we don't have any other customization, as you can see. Okay, you can also label, if you've got multiple home screens, then you can label that home screen which you want to use. uh, just I will just quickly demo that for you. So if you just want to set this as your home screen, you can just simply tap on this option. And now when you will tap on the home screen, uh, I'll just set this to always. And now when you tap on the home screen, it will take you to this home screen. uh, and now if you set this home screen as the uh, if you select that home screen, now when I press the home key, it will take me to this home screen. So I hope that difference is pretty much clear. The other thing is that let's take a look at the quick setting tiles which we get. These are the quick setting tiles which are enabled by default, and these are the ones which you can add on. So a bunch of options present in here. And then well, you can just reset. That reset option is also present in there. Oh yeah, and if you long press uh, the gear icon, that will take you to the dotOS customizations. And well, guys, launcher, as you know, it's full of customizations. Um, well, I'll just go to apps and um, reset the app preferences. So now I can choose launcher again, and you can customize everything from the desktop grid size. You can use an icon pack, screen rotation. You can also configure the color of the icon labels on the home screen, number of columns, number of rows, and then the various sizes, center wallpaper, full width widgets, all that stuff. And then you can similarly do that with the dock. You can make the dock transparent, adjust the icon and the height scales, hide the page indicators. So a bunch of customizations in here. And similarly for the app drawer, the best thing which I like in here is the drawer opacity. You can, if you just pull that all the way down to 0, the app drawer will become transparent. There you can see that. That's my favorite feature in launcher. Then you can play around with the theme settings. You can configure the theme of the app of launcher, of the launcher settings menu. I personally prefer to have the black theme enabled. It's light by default. Yeah, so a bunch of settings in here. You can also show or hide the weather. Yeah, so a lot of options. um Okay, so lastly, we'll just quickly wrap this up now. We do get a themed calculator application as well. The camera is the Snapdragon camera, and I think it's the Snapdragon camera. Let's just check it again. Yeah, so it is the Snapdragon camera, and dot papers, I'll just talk about that in a bit. The ROM has the Lightning browser. That this is browser is also available on the Play Store. uh, okay, so again, just a quick overview of the browser which we get. You can using this three dotted menu, you can close the current tabs, close other tabs, close all the tabs. You can obviously add new tabs, and then we have got all those basic settings: incognito mode, history, downloads, copy links, bookmarks, reader mode. Then under settings, you can for blocking ads, you will have to upgrade to Lightning Plus. Again, that will require an in-app purchase for you to activate that. Then block images, enable or disable JavaScript, color mode, search suggestions, you can tweak all that. Bookmark settings, uh, display settings, show tabs in the navigation bar, full screen mode, black status bar, text reflow, app theme. You can also select that to black if you want to. And then the privacy settings, location access. You can enable or disable a bunch of privacy settings. Clear the cache, browser history, browser cookies. And then under advanced settings, we have got a bunch of options: enable or disable the cookies, enable cookies in incognito mode, rendering mode, and URL boxes contains text encoding. So there are quite a bunch of customizations in here. um, then we have got the clock, and they have even tweaked themed the clock as well. And if you'll just go, and you can also select light, dark, or black theme in here. And you can, as you have noticed, they have these guys have put in multiple they have included those applications which allow you to choose from multiple themes. Now, as we will take a look in dot papers, and in the music player which we have in dotOS, even in those applications, you can select the theme you want: light, dark, or black. So yeah, a bunch of settings in here as well. You can configure all that: snooze, timeouts, ringtones, etc, etc. Yeah. And then we do have equalizers as well, so you can customize the audio output of the speakers, headphones, and Bluetooth headsets if you use them, or Bluetooth speakers as well. Then files, again, there are a lot of design they have done a lot of design revamps. They have made some very few changes. Say Just for another example, when you will install when in the package installer, they have changed a couple of they have changed a couple of animations. No, in fact, not animations, they have changed these graphics which are displayed when an app is being installed. So there are a lot of what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of minor adjustments which these guys have made to their ROM. And if you have watched any of my previous videos, I have always said that it is these minor additions which I'm a big fan of, because all these small nourishments, they end up in all of them add up in and affect the overall experience of using the ROM. So that's what I'm a fan of. Anyway, then they have also themed the messaging application a bit. And The music player, I think this is the Timber music player, in case you guys want to know about that. um, so you can obviously sort your music library, playlists, folders, playing queue, now playing. Now, if we'll just quickly go into the settings, as I was telling you guys, you can enable or disable the dark theme option. There is an option for that. You can configure the primary color of the music player. Colored status bar. You can configure the start page, gestures, last FM, advanced settings. Uh, yeah, so there are a lot of options in here. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you can also choose between different now playing layouts. Well, I guess it's been a really long video, guys. But yeah, and then you can also view the albums, artists, so there's just so much in this ROM. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm anyway. Yeah, so moving on. Well, we are pretty much, I think we are done with the messaging. I have showed you the music player as well. um and the phone application, well, that's um so if you wish to enable all those vibration settings for calls on, then you have got the vibrate on answer, vibrate on call waiting, vibrate on hang up, vibration on every 45th second of the call. You can enable that option. And call recordings option are also present in the sound and vibrations menu. And there is also an option for call blocking. Well, yeah, I think we are pretty much done, apart from dot papers and the gallery. If you just want to have a look at that, then well, you can uh, sort the images, sort the media in the gallery by location, times, and type. And then well, you can do a slideshow, or just change the way the images appear. And then there is an option for editing the gallery has its inbuilt editor. You can use a bunch of filters, you know add those borders, and then crop the image, rotate it. And you can also change the exposure values in the end. Yeah, so that's it for the gallery. And uh, well, and the gallery doesn't have any one of those sliding controls for those sliding volume and brightness controls. None of them are included. And dot papers, this is what is special in this ROM. So these are handpicked wallpapers in the ROM. And as I showed you in the Telegram community, the dotOS the guys who have built this ROM, they also allow additions. They also invite contributions from the community to uh, uh, get their wallpapers added to this beautiful collection. I think I really like this collection in dotOS and the Exodus papers in Exodus ROM. So these are two of, and as you can see, these are really beautiful wallpapers. And now when I will just swipe to the left, now you can see that we have also got, they have categorized the wallpapers as well, dot arts, and all those. So bunch of wallpapers in here for you to choose from. And you can see that it's a quite a long list. So if you just want to set any wallpaper, then you can click on that paint roller icon. You can download the wallpaper, save the wallpaper, and then it also shows you the category and the different color, the hex codes of the different colors which are present in the wallpaper. And then if you just want to preview the wallpaper in its original size, then you can do that. And lastly, they have also these are dot arts and dot OS walls, lineage OS walls, and wallpapers from other ROMs. So there are some from Pyronode Android as well. Yeah, and lastly, the settings of the dot papers. Again, you can choose between the dark and the light theme. Wallpaper preview quality, you can set that. And wallpaper save location, languages, and reset the tutorial. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, that's been a pretty long video. If you did make it this far, well, congratulations. That's all I can say. Yeah, so that's dotOS 1.1 for you. And as I have said, these guys are still working on uh, uh, they're still working on adding new features to the ROM. And you can expect, I think, dotOS 1.2 real soon with a bunch of new features. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Take care. And if you did like the video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you hated it, you can vote it down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.